Hi guys, this is the video that I'm going to do in order to show you how to do cold email in 2019. Now, if you do not know, uh, Google Suite or G Suite, whatever you want to call it, is banning the use of cold email in their platforms, and it's gotten really bad, to be honest. Like I am part of many groups of cold emails. I know many people who are really amazing when it comes to cold emails, and they all are reporting a downgrade in open rates. Let's call it that way. Pretty much, they are sending a lot of emails, and they are not getting the open rates that they want, and they are also getting banned really fast. So this thing has become so hard that even when a guy that I know that is really good using cold emails, pretty much he realized that uh, Google Suite was pretty much detecting when you join their account with an automator like Mailgun or Woodpecker or another sending batch sending emails or something like that was called. Pretty much, uh, he was testing all these tools that we usually use to automate the sending, and he was getting banned all over the place. And that was really hard. So he pretty much set up a huge team, to send the cold emails by hand, one by one. And things got so hard that he was getting banned after 30 minutes of sending emails manually. So that is harsh, man. Even when he was just sending like 50 emails, 100 emails, something like that, he was getting banned. I saw some guys who were getting banned after sending 5 or 10 emails. So the algorithm from Google to detect what is called email has gone really, really hard. And something that also you should know is that even with this method that I'm showing you, even if you can send the emails, you also have to be mindful that many of your clients are using Google Suite in order to pretty much receive your emails. They have set up their service with Google Suite. So one thing is the sending of emails and not getting blocked. Okay, that is the first problem that we got to solve, and this video is going to show you how to solve that problem. The other one is making sure that when you send your emails, they actually get in the inbox of your clients or your possible clients or your prospects, whatever. So that is the second challenge. So something that you have to know from right now, that they are pretty much detecting when the email has a tracker. Now, if you are tracking your emails, the open rates, when somebody gives a click in one of your links, something like that, they are what the software does is that they put like an image that is 1 pixel by 1 pixel in that email, and that has a special code that is going to track all of that. Now, the email services are detecting that tracker, and if your email, even if you are using all the right words and everything is set up perfectly, if they detect that your email has a tracker, they are going to put it into spam, especially if it's Google. So that is something that you have to know. This is going to be really hard for us because we are going to lose all our tracking abilities. But there are some other good things that are coming out of that. Now, I will tell you this. I don't think cold email will be something that we can use for longer than maybe 6 months if we are being like really positive. And the reason why I think that is because every time Google sets a rule, it's only a matter of time before other companies adapt to that rule. So for example, we had this service called SendGrid that I wanted to use and jump from Mailchimp to SendGrid in order to sell my cold emails. Now in the terms of service, they put there that SendGrid is not uh, they are not allowing cold email anymore. And I saw some guys doing some amazing automations out of SendGrid, and that pretty much was a shame. So I'm really sad that this service is no longer available in order to to send cold emails. We had another one that was a little bit more expensive called Toad App that we used in the past. And now if you look for that, it's not existing anymore. So that is another shame that we lost that, even though if it was expensive as fuck. So uh, one thing that I'm going to do is that in the description of this video, you're going to find 2 links to 2 articles and also a link to an email tester that you can use. Now, these 2 articles pretty much list some keywords that you need to avoid, that you need to avoid like the plague. Do not use these words in your emails because these are keywords emails that keywords. Sorry, I'm a little bit sleepy because it is late in the night. Uh, these keywords are being detected by the email services, and they are using that to detect spam. So pretty much you need to avoid those things. Also, the email tester I'm going to give you, what it's going to do is that you can send an email to that tester, and the tester is going to tell you if your email is good, if your email is good to go, if it doesn't sound spammy at all or something like that. So that is something good to consider as well. I'm going to leave the links to all these pretty much services down below in the description. You can just check it out. Also, pretty much we need to forget about using Google Suite. That sucks because we already are used to that. But on the other hand, the alternative that I'm going to give you, Mailgun, is going to be amazing for you because the good news about this is that we can forget about warming up emails. It's done. Like Mailgun doesn't need that shit. So we don't have to worry about doing that shit anymore. We can skip that horrible process that took about 1 to 2 months. And that is something amazing. Also, Mailgun allows us to send way more emails than Google allows us to do. So that is great. So I'm going to share now the screen here in order to pretty much show you about these services. Now I have here Mailgun, and as you can see, this says email service for developers. Now, this is the main reason why I'm going to do this video, because this is going to suck a little bit. The reason why it's going to suck is because this is a little bit more technical than Google Suite, and that is going to pretty much make things a little bit harder for us. I'm going to close some tabs so we can have more space here. Okay, so good thing they have a podcast, so I would recommend watching this, hearing this podcast, because they are going to give you best practices on how to send emails. Also, they are giving you a free account, and on the free account, you can send 10,000 emails for free every month. So if you are sending about 100 to 200 emails at every send, this is amazing for you because you're going to have more than enough space of sending a lot of emails. And if you're like me, who is sending like 2,000 emails at a batch, this is amazing as well because you can pretty much get it all done in 1 month. So let's get into SendGrid inside the dashboard, and things are going to get a little bit more technical here. I'm going to show you how to set things up from this point. Now, Mailgun, again, is an email service for developers. This is not a normal email. You cannot manually create an email and send it. You cannot do a lot of things here. You cannot even receive emails to the emails that we set up here. And that is technically true, but there is another setting for that. I'm going to explain that in time. So let's get to the various steps, okay? First of all, we need to add a new domain. And again, for those who are new at cold email, never, never, ever use your main domain here. Just buy another domain, put it here. If you get that marked as a spam, and you can use this thing called mxtoolbox.com to check out if your domain has been marked as a spam. I'm going to show you here. Okay, frametrickvideos.com. Let's look up. First, this thing is going to show you here's some information, but you can click here, the black check, and there it is. It seems that we are not blacklisted, so that is good. That is good. Okay, so let's go back to SendGrid. Close this one. And again, SendGrid is going to allow you to get your free account. If you want to send more than 10,000 emails per month, you will have to pay. And you can pay as you go. That is the good thing. You don't have to pay like a fixed amount. You can pay pretty much $1, $2, depending on how much you're sending per month over the 10,000 emails. So first of all, you add your domain and you put it here. Okay, good. Then in domain settings, you're going to have to pretty much configure some things here. So inbound spam filter, this is something that I turn on. You can turn it off, whatever you want. This is pretty much, I have put it here, the default. I have set up the default here. The tracking, I have turned it all off. Again, you cannot track anything now because Google is going to detect it, and or whatever service is going to detect it and put your email to spam. So I had to track all of it off. And in order to, if you want to track it, you have to add a CNAME that we're going to go talk about. Now here are the DNS records that you have to set up pretty much in your hosting. So there is the TXT records, here they are. This is the SPF protocol, and this is the DKIM protocol. And these are the MX records for receiving and sending emails, and the CNAME for the tracking. So you go to your hosting, go to DNS on editor. Yeah, I'm not authenticating anymore, whatever. Okay, so go here, choose the domain that you pretty much have selected. I'm using Bluehost. This might change depending on the hosting that you have. And you have to click here to set up the CNAME, DMX, and the TXT record. So I'm going to show you here, right here. In the Nemex email, I have set it up as they said it here. Priority 10, priority 10, as you can see, priority 10, 10. Host record at, which is my own email, points up to mxa@mailgun.org, mxb.mailgun.org, and we can find that here. There it is, the value, and you can copy it here on this button, and the CNAME record that is just email, and pretty much where it is. Let's see. Okay, here it is. Email, mailgun.org, that's it. I have set it up to 3600 TTL because this is counted in milliseconds, I remember. So this way is being verified every minute. So, and this number right here is the equivalent of an hour, I think. So that is something for you to know. So once you set up these things, it's going to allow you to validate the domain, and your domain is set up. Now we have to create your email. And this is, again, this is a little bit more technical. This is a little bit different. In Google Suite, we have the thing of creating new users. In this thing, we have the SMTP credentials. Now, it's going to create this one as a testing. Pretty much this is obligatory. You cannot delete this or use it. So I will use this one. Then you're going to create SMTP new user. You put the username here. In my case, was Rodrigo, and it will add it to the domain that you have. And you have here the SMTP settings if you want to set it up somewhere else. So this is the SMTP address. And if you want to use the secure socket layer, these are the ports that you want to use. I will recommend one of these two and not use this one, okay? And for the user, you have to use your full address. Now, when this thing creates the new count for the email, it's going to give you the password in this corner, I think. You have to copy it and put it into a secure place where you can always find it, because it's never going to give it that password to you again. So I recommend that you use it into Evernote or Dropbox or Google Drive, whatever you use, when you need to save this thing up. If you lose this password, you will have to reset this. And then again, save the password, put it up, because if you lose it and you want to set it up for another service, you are going to have to change the password. Then you have to update the password in all the services that you integrate this email. It's extra chaos that you do not want. Okay? So there it is. Now, I want to show you something that is an extra service for this service pretty much. Right now, I am using a shared IP, which is the free version, but for $80 a month, we can assign a dedicated IP. Now, this dedicated IP, what it's going to do is that it's going to allow us to send way more emails. And I really mean way more emails. So if you want to send like 50,000 emails per month or 100,000 emails per month, then I highly recommend that you assign a dedicated IP. Even if you don't want to send that amount of emails, this is going to add like a huge extra layer, like a huge authenticity value to your email that is going to make even more sure that your emails get to the inbox. So if you want to make absolutely sure that your deliverability is the best it can be, I highly recommend you get this one for $80 a month. If not, if you think you're okay, which most of us I think will be, I think that then it's not necessary, but it is something nice to know. Now, I told you that Mailgun is a little bit different on the case because this is now everything for the sending, okay? This is everything for the sending. And we have here this area that says sending over here. And now, if we want to receive, Mailgun doesn't allow you to receive pretty much any email at all. What it's going to allow you to do is to pretty much set up a route so that when somebody replies to this email, it will send it to an email of your choosing, apart from the one that we are using here, okay? And now this is something really nice because I'm focusing in the US, but if you focus on the EU, this thing is going to allow you all the configuration needed for GDPR and all this kind of thing. So I'm going to go back. I don't want to pretty much intrude in this, but if you're in Europe and if you want to pretty much be mindful of GDPR, Mailgun gives you everything that you need for GDPR, and that is something amazing. So we can go into create route, pretty much. We can put here some condition. I have put catch all, and then you can set up to forward this to the email address that you want, or to maybe an app that you have. Again, this is something that is thinking about developers and that it integrates into an app. Like even this thing, like you can integrate, I think, Shopify or something else. I don't know, to be honest. But again, the easiest thing is just to select an email, to forward the email pretty much of your choosing, and that's it, okay? This is all for the receiving. Great. Now we have that. I'm going to open the settings because we are going to need this thing next. Now we have set up everything in the hosting. I don't need it. Now we are jumping to Woodpecker. Now Woodpecker is the service that you are going to be using to send the emails, to actually create the email campaign and automate it. Now, they tell you that they are giving you 2 months for free now, apparently, and that, or they give you a free trial of 14 days or something like that. But that is basically kind of true, but also a lie, because they can only, in the trial, you can only send like 150 emails at all. And if you want to send more than that, like, you have to pay. So Yeah, pretty much is a little bit of a lie. So I don't think you need more than the this basic configuration here. So set up the $40 a month account and that's it. Okay, let's see. This thing is now here it is the woodpecker, intro woodpecker, and usually we are going to see the campaigns inside it. So I have created my campaign. Good thing about this is that you can create drafts. So even if you haven't finished adding all the details about your campaign, you create the draft, save it, and pretty much continue on that. So here's my campaign right now that I'm creating. And remember, I'm still new at this, but I'm just trying to save you time. that took me a lot to figure out things over here. So as you can see, there is not many settings here. We have to click here, settings. Here's for your profile, and this is your, you have to choose here your preferred email. This is where your billing, notification, things like that are going to go. So to set up your email account, we're going to go to email accounts, and then we go here into the settings. So you're going to see this, where this is being sent. I put my name. The signature is all normal text. And one of the good things about this is that this allows you to see the HTML of your signature so that you can pretty much simplify your email signature here as much as possible in order to, because again, like if the email service that you are sending these emails to, you think that the code is too complex, they are going to mark it as spam. They have gotten really hard on it. So you want to make sure that this thing is as simple as possible. I have just added one link here that is for my booking page, and that's it, like nothing else. Now here's where it comes to the configuration. And this is where things get interesting. Because if you can see, again, Mailgun doesn't have an IMAP server, so it cannot receive here. But you can select another account. And in this case, I have set up my G Suite main account, the one that I'm not using at all for cold email. So you can click here, Google, and add your account. But before you add it, you need to make sure that you go into your G Suite account, click on settings, go to forwarding, and pop an IMAP. And over here, you need to make absolutely sure that IMAP is enabled. Here it is, IMAP is enabled. It's going to be on disabled, okay? This is the default setting. You need to enable this and save changes. Once you do this, you can add your Gmail account, your G Suite account into this. And what is going to happen is that Woodpecker is going to send up the batches for the cold email. And when they reply to that cold email, the reply is going to be sent to the email that you had chosen here. So that is really amazing because to be honest, I like to simplify things. So if people answer, I want to get the answer into my main account, and that is something that Mailshake doesn't have, to be honest. Although and I have the lifetime account for here, but they don't allow me to use SMTP accounts unless I pay for these things. So yeah, pretty much. I haven't used this one, to be honest, yet, but I have used Mailshake in general, and I can tell you that it's good enough for my purpose, but there are some things that are lacking that this thing does have, okay? So that is something good. So the IMAP server, pretty much you go here into your main account, enable the IMAP, and you can configure that now here. And for the SMTP server data, pretty much you go into Mailgun, select here. You can also select other and use the SMTP account, but you better select Mailgun, put your name. Here is the email of the domain that I'm using. Then the API domain, pretty much this is the domain that I want, that I have set up here in Mailgun. and it's going to ask you for your API key. Now, there are two ways to access this. If you go into Mailgun, as you can see, you cannot see it over here. So you can click here to minimize it, settings, API security. And the other thing that you can do is go click here and click on security, and it's going to give you the API key. So now you can click on view, it's going to show you the API key, and you can copy that and paste it over here, and then click continue, and that's it. And that's it. Once that's done, pretty much your email account will be added, and you will be able to see that you will receive all the emails that the people answer are going to go to your main account in G Suite or whatever you're using, and the sending is going to happen through Mailgun. Now, there are some things here as well when you're creating your campaign that sucks, because Woodpecker, I think, was created by Google, thinking on Google, something like that. So they are setting up a limit for sending for about, I think, 500 emails a day, which for most of you is going to be more than enough. So here it is. Check it out. Send no more than 500 open emails a day. I have set it up to 5,000. Why? Because Mailgun allows, the reason why they are sending this thing is so that the email service that you are using is not going to ban you for being a spammer. But Mailgun doesn't give you those problems. So if you want to increase your limits on sending, pretty much what you have to do is send an email to, here it is, pretty much you can send it, change it, and they say over here that if you want to set up a higher email, that you can send an email to support@woodpecker.co, and that they are going to increase your email limits if you want to send more than 500 emails a day, which I will do. And now I have created here pretty much the campaign, and here is the pretty much the variables that they are using. And you can create here the follow-ups, and you can set up here the days that it's going to wait until pretty much sends this email, and only if they haven't replied to the previous ones. Also, the days that you can send it up and the time that you can send it up, you can set it up here, all of this, and the pretty much time zone as well that you're using. And you can keep adding emails, follow-ups, and at the end, your email list. Now, this thing here gives you a way to validate your emails. But pretty much what Mailgun is going to do if you add a list is that it only gives you 100, if I remember correctly, they only give you 100 validations for free per month. And after that, they are going to charge you depending on how many you are validating. And the thing is that you can save all that if you are getting your emails through this service called Snovio. And this pretty much, when you get the emails using this service is going to validate it for your pretty much on your own. Once you get the emails, this thing is going to validate them, and it's going to show you which email is like 100% validated, or which one maybe has a top security in it, so they cannot validate it because they have a privacy security, which ones are failing, and all these things. So I have tested the email list. Pretty much, I grab the emails that are 100% validated from this thing. I exported it to a comma separated value. I have used this service called Neverbounce, and the thing is that when I validated this list of 1,000 emails that were 100% validated by Snovio, and then used Neverbounce to pretty much try to verify that list as well, they told me that the list was pretty much validated, that there was a 1% margin error, and that I was good to go. So there is no more thing left to do here, other than use the service to get your leads, and try to send the emails to the 100% validated links. Like they are going to even color that email in a green circle so that you know that this email actually works. So that is really cool because they are valid. And again, like, the good thing is that if you even if you get this thing here, and if you have your own list of emails, you can upload it to this service, and they are giving you, like, depending on the plan that you choose, they give you thousands of validations. So that is something good that you can do with this service as well. You're getting your emails, and you're also getting them validated, and the validation is really, really good. So that is something to know. And once it's done, pretty much you're good to set up, to start sending, and add your campaign, to start sending it, and see some results. And again, I'm still trying to test this thing. As you can see, I haven't finished the campaign. I'm going to stop sharing now. So I haven't sent the campaign now. I'm going to send it on Monday, but I have tried to set it all the best way I could. No trackings, no anything. I'm going to maybe add here an update, but this is pretty much the settings that you have to do. And the only thing left to do is check the spam keywords, avoid those, and use the email testers to make sure that your script is good to go. My script is, I think, 99% secure, so I'm 100% sure that I'm not using any bad keywords or anything like that to not get banned. And that is something that you have to validate as well. You need to verify that your emails are good, that your script is good, that your list is verified, that there is no tracking over here, and pretty much set up the service. And again, if you want to make an extra sure that your email is set up really good in order to pretty much get to all the recipients, to get you your client's inbox, then you can purchase the dedicated IP in Mailgun. That is something extra. So that is it. I hope that this helps you out into your cold emails. And again, I hope that is not the case. I really hope that this keeps working for another year at least or more, because I have worked really hard to become good at cold email. But again, I have seen in the last 10 years that every time that Google sets up a new rule, everybody follows. And I think it's going to be, with new algorithms, new artificial intelligence and things like that, I think cold email is going to become harder and harder to do. So that is something to have in mind. I don't think this is going to be a viable method of getting clients in the future. I might be wrong, but I hope I'm wrong. But I have seen it over and over again, and I have seen many other services pretty much adapting their terms of service to Google switches, because obviously they don't want to be derank in the Google search. So yeah, this is something to have in mind in order for you to not get complacent with just this method of getting clients, and pretty much start learning other ways to do so. And I'm doing that right now as well. So until next time.